The sun rises over Detroit, casting long shadows across a city known for its resilience, grit, and the spirit of rebirth. Once the heart of American industry, Detroit has always been a symbol of hope and hard work, a place where dreams were built from steel and sweat. But beyond the gleaming new developments and revitalized downtown, another story quietly unfolds in the cold, forgotten alleys and beneath weathered overpasses, places where the city's struggles are hidden from view. Here, a hidden crisis is quietly stealing lives. Fentanyl, a powerful synthetic opioid, has turned the daily struggle for shelter into a relentless battle for survival, leaving devastation in its wake. This isn't just about homelessness, it's about a deadly substance woven into the very fabric of life on these streets, touching every corner and every life it encounters. Imagine walking through these neighborhoods, boarded up windows, overgrown lots, makeshift tents, and faces etched with hardship and stories untold. Each step reveals the weight of dreams deferred and lives interrupted. These are Detroit's homeless, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, each with dreams lost along the way, but also with memories of better days and hopes that still flicker, however faint. Fentanyl is not a choice, but a predator, preying on despair and the desperate need to escape pain. It lures people in with false promises, only to tighten its grip with every dose. It's a silent epidemic, devastating a community already on the edge, pushing people further into isolation and fear, while the world looks away. Every day is a gamble. Every dose could be fatal. The risk is constant, and the consequences are heartbreakingly real. This isn't someone else's problem, it's happening here, in the heart of an American city, affecting neighbors, families, and friends. We must look past the surface and see the humanity behind the suffering, recognizing that every person here has a story worth hearing. We'll walk these streets, hear the voices often ignored, and meet the heroes, social workers, volunteers, and survivors, fighting every day to save lives and restore hope. This is a journey into crisis, and a search for hope, resilience, and the possibility of change, even in the darkest corners. The story needs to be told, and it needs to be heard, because only by understanding can we begin to heal. Fentanyl, the invisible killer. It's a synthetic opioid 50 to 100 times stronger than morphine. In hospitals, it's controlled. On the streets, it's a deadly gamble. Just 2 milligrams can kill, a few grains of salt. Most people aren't seeking fentanyl. It's mixed into heroin, cocaine, or counterfeit pills without their knowledge. Every use is Russian roulette. Fentanyl has no taste, smell, or look, making it impossible to detect. For those on the streets, every purchase is a leap of faith. Addiction is no longer a chronic disease, it's an immediate death sentence. Understanding this is crucial if we hope to save lives. Meet James, once a proud auto worker, now forced to call a tent city home after a workplace injury spiraled into addiction. His story is one of thousands, each shaped by loss, pain, and the struggle to survive in a city that has changed around them. Each day, James wakes up with the same mission: to find food, shelter, and the drug his body now depends on. The search is relentless, and the city's abandoned buildings offer little comfort or safety. "You don't know what you're getting anymore," he says, voice trembling. "Every time you wonder if this is the one that takes you out." The uncertainty is constant, and the fear never really fades. Maria, just 22, escaped an abusive home only to find herself on Detroit's streets. She numbs her trauma with drugs, trying to forget the past while facing a harsh present. She and her friends have witnessed countless overdoses, using Narcan to pull each other back from the brink. They've made a pact: never use alone. But in moments of desperation, even the strongest rules can be broken. For them, life isn't about getting high. It's about staving off the agony of withdrawal, about making it through another freezing night. The challenges are relentless: exposure to the elements, the threat of violence, and a profound sense of isolation that seeps into every moment. Many feel invisible, like ghosts haunting the city's forgotten corners, unseen and unheard by the world rushing past. A hot shower or a simple meal becomes a rare victory, a brief reminder of dignity in a life stripped bare. In this harsh reality, the lure of escape, however fleeting, can feel irresistible, offering a moment's peace from relentless hardship. Fentanyl has made survival even more precarious, turning friends into casualties overnight and leaving behind only memories and grief. The Fentifold, that telltale slump of overdose, is seen too often, a chilling reminder of how close danger always is. Trust is eroded, and isolation deepens, as each loss makes it harder to reach out or believe in hope. Their fight is no longer just for a better life, but for survival against a poison that lurks in every dose, every shadow, every night. This is the reality for Detroit's homeless, a daily battle for dignity, safety, and the hope that tomorrow might be different. Their stories are not just about addiction, but about a system that has failed them. And yet, despite everything, they endure, holding on to hope in the shadows. How did fentanyl take over Detroit so quickly? Economic hardship, a fractured healthcare system, and the illegal drug trade created the perfect storm. The opioid crisis began with overprescribed painkillers. When those ran out, people turned to heroin. Traffickers mixed cheap, potent fentanyl into heroin and counterfeit pills, spreading it rapidly. Detroit's location as a distribution hub made it easy for fentanyl to flood the streets. For the homeless, there's no safe option. Every dose is a risk, and the market is saturated with poison. Amidst the crisis, there are points of light: shelters, outreach centers, and harm reduction programs. Places like the Pope Francis Center offer more than meals. They provide showers, clean clothes, and medical care. Outreach workers walk the streets, handing out Narcan and fentanyl test strips, building trust without judgment. Organizations like Detroit Recovery Project, often run by people in recovery, offer peer support and pathways to treatment. Recovery is a long journey, but these efforts save lives every day. A dose of Narcan, a clean syringe, a caring conversation. These are monumental acts of humanity. But resources are limited, and the need is overwhelming. These organizations are Detroit's beacons of hope, but they can't do it alone. The fentanyl crisis is measured in empty spaces. An absent friend at the soup kitchen, a silent tent. For Detroit's homeless, grief is constant and brutal. Losses come suddenly, often without ceremony or closure. This relentless exposure to death breeds hopelessness and fatalism. "Why bother getting clean?" one man asks. "I'll probably be dead next week anyway." The drug that causes the loss is also the only thing that numbs the pain. Outreach workers and shelter staff grieve too, carrying the weight of each loss. Their resilience is remarkable, but the emotional toll is immense. This is the true human cost of the epidemic, a crisis of stolen futures and shattered communities. We must bear witness, and let this pain move us to action. Amidst the sorrow and daily struggles, there are stories of survival and hope that shine through the darkness. Sarah spent years on the streets, facing harsh winters and uncertainty, overdosed multiple times, but a simple act of kindness from an outreach worker, offering her water and a listening ear, sparked her recovery journey. Today, she's in recovery, has a safe home, a steady job, and has rebuilt family connections she once thought were lost forever. For Marcus, a case manager's unwavering support helped him navigate detox and secure housing, even after setbacks and relapses that made him want to give up. He's now learning new skills, gaining confidence, and slowly rebuilding his life, one step at a time. Recovery often starts with a single connection: a healthcare provider, a peer, or a volunteer who refuses to give up on someone. Community response matters. Narcan drives save lives, food donations nourish hope, and murals of hope brighten neighborhoods and spirits. These small acts of kindness send a powerful message: you are not forgotten, and you matter to this community. These victories may be rare, but they are vital. Proof that people are not lost causes. Compassionate support truly works and changes lives. These moments of light fuel the helpers, inspire the community, and remind us all not to give up, no matter how hard the journey. Behind every story of addiction is a human being worthy of a second chance. Hope is real, and recovery is possible for everyone. We've walked Detroit streets, heard stories of pain and hope. The fentanyl crisis feels overwhelming, but inaction is not an option. Every day we wait, more lives are lost. Law enforcement alone can't solve this. We must address poverty, trauma, housing, and mental health. Invest in communities, expand shelters, and support evidence-based treatment. Harm reduction keeps people alive until they're ready for recovery. Empathy is our most powerful tool. See the person, not the addiction. Challenge stigma. Addiction is a medical condition, not a moral failing. Support local organizations, volunteer, donate, advocate for better policies. Call your officials, demand action. Your voice matters. The heart of Detroit is at stake. Its fate depends on our courage and compassion. The time for action is now. The story of fentanyl in Detroit is about fragility, strength, and hope. James, Maria, Sarah, Marcus, they are the heartbeat of a city that refuses to be broken. Their struggle is our shared responsibility. The crisis continues, and awareness is more urgent than ever. Change begins with understanding and listening. Let this story spark deeper conversations in your community. Stay engaged. There's more to learn, more to do. Together we can build a future where everyone has a chance to thrive.